What's up guys, this is Matt, and today I am going to answer a question or a request that I've gotten quite a bit. I am going to take you through a complete Shopify print-on-demand store build from start to finish. We're going to name the business, we're going to get set up on Shopify, we're going to add the apps, only the apps that we need so we don't slow down the store. We're going to give you everything you need to get your print-on-demand store up and running before Q4 because it's just around the corner. All links that I talk about for the certain things that we do need will be included in the description below. If you have any questions throughout this video, please feel free to put them in the comment section below. Let's get going. And so if you're new here, you like print on demand, making money online, investing, taking your side hustle and being able to use that to propel you to buy the things you want or leave the day job behind, please feel free to click the subscribe button, turn on notifications because we have a lot more videos coming your way. Thank you, let's check it out. And so of course the first thing that we want to do is come up with your brilliant brand name. Now don't overcomplicate this. Students, a lot of people that have contacted me here on the channel really overcomplicate this. I had one person that came up and said, you know, I'm almost ready to start my store. It's been about a week and a half and I almost got my name narrowed down. No. This does not have to be a marriage that lasts forever. Just come up with something quick that you can use. You can always change it within Shopify if you absolutely have to, but chances are it's you that are gonna make your name cool, not the name just being cool by itself. I kind of think about like bands. Like some of the band names are just kind of dumb when they came out, but then as the band develops a following, it starts to get more cool. Like Korn comes to mind. Like it's kind of a dumb name for a band, but as they grew a fan base, it kind of became cool in the eyes of a lot of people. And so the same thing can be true of your brand. As you treat your customers right, as you provide them with gifts they can give to family members to make holidays amazing, they're gonna start to view your brand in a high light, and it's gonna develop that goodwill that good brands have. So do it really quick, don't overthink it, just get this step done. So there's a few name generators you can use. One of them that I like to use the most is actually in Shopify. So if you click, there'll be a link below. If you click to the Shopify link in the description, there's going to be this tool here where it says Shopify/tools/business name generator. So all you have to do is describe your brand in one word and it'll give you some shop names ideas. So like, let's say I have family in there, say you want to do family, if you're gonna do family gifts or something like that. So you have family boards, family, none of these really seem, let's see, family dot, I mean that could be there. Moment family, family flex. You have a lot of sunflower family, top 10 family, that's interesting. Penguin family, bumblebee family. One of the tips I suggest actually is that incorporating an animal name in it is actually a pretty cool play, pretty easy play to think of something. The other thing is if you can have some element of alliteration, that's a good way to make your brand more memorable. Alliteration, think about like Coca-Cola, where it kind of has the same consonant repeated. Google, you know, is like another example of alliteration. It makes your brand a bit more memorable. So if we just go in through, but it's not required, but if we just go through here, we have Sequoia, Wide, Sunflower. I mean, top 10 is interesting. But let's just see if it's actually available. I'm gonna go over to namecheap.com. That's one of my favorite domain registers. You will have to register for the domain once you pick it. So I just want to see if they actually have the domain available. I'm going to do top10family.com. And it looks like it was registered recently, so we can't use that one. Let's see what else they have for us here. Family Draw, Family Wonder is kind of interesting. It's going to be really hard, to be honest, to find something that only has 2 words, because there's a lot of people that squat on domains and just hold them hoping they can sell them to somebody. See, these people have been using that forever. Carefree Family, Less Family, Family Pop's interesting. See if that works. Family Pop is taken. So you can see we can maybe even try something else. Like what if we do like gifts? Maybe we can find something interesting in here. Halcyon gifts, it's kind of hard to pronounce. I do think that's something you want to consider is how easy your brand is to say. Victory gifts. Gifts Archive, Sage Gift, Best Gifts. Gifts Harbor is interesting. Let's see if Gifts Harbor is available. Gifts Harbor. So Gifts Harbor is available. That's interesting. You can kind of play on like it's like an import kind of a thing.
Just imports, no exports?
So Gifts Harbor is available. You can get it for $8.98 a year. I kind of would probably just stick with that. There's a couple of other brand name generators you can use. One of them is NameSnack. NameSnack actually is free, but it allows you to use multiple words. So like, what if I wanted to do family gift and see what it comes up with? You can also do a category, gifts, maybe like boutique. Yeah, boutique maybe. Familygift.com is taken. And it's basically giving you so what's cool about NameSnack is that it's giving you names based on the category. So you can see a lot of these kind of have that boutique vibe. Baskets and bread, I mean, May You Give, Ancestral, Palms, the Basket Boutique. And the cool thing is that it actually tells you that it's available. So like the Baskets Boutique, May You Give, which I don't know what that means, Lift You Plain, Edward's Gift Shop, if your name's Edward, there you go. The Grand Flush, My Giver Shops, all of these, Red Flower Store, the Diving Palace, the Kaiva Shop. I'd stay away from hyphens. Gift of a Posh, that's kind of interesting. Kind-Hearted Charmed is interesting. So definitely check out NameSnack. So a third option that's kind of interesting is actually called hipsterbusiness.name. And it just kind of comes up with like hipster sounding names. All you have to do is refresh. So like I just refreshed this and it said Canvas and Mice, which is weird. Pebble and Grass, and it even has like a logo you can use as like an example. Flint and Morrow, Lawyer and Stream, Lime and Pistol. That's kind of interesting depending on, kind of where your niche is. Chief and Sandstone, Nutmeg and Feast, Grass and Barrel, Plum and Sandstone, Whale and Burlap. So I mean, there's definitely like options here if you just want to just go crazy. I kind of like the NameSnack version. The name that we had, Gifts Harbor, was kind of a cool name too. And another one that I like to use is called Brand Bucket. You can search all business names by style, so like clever, catchy. The problem with Brand Bucket is it is a premium service, so these names are going to be pricey, but they're going to be very brandable. Catchy names, let's just see what they come up with. So like some of these are $7,000, Travel World. Let's see, like gift. Let's see what they have for like in the gift. Gift India, Tasteful Gift. So some of these are $2,000. Originalgifts.com is $55,000. Probably out of most people's budget. Gift Heart, I mean, they even have, logos built in. So if you have a bit more budget, this is definitely a way you can go. I will include a link below for them. Private Admirer, Lucky Carrot. So there's some interesting ones here. So if you want premium, and if you want to have it potentially already branded for you, like Vivid Gift for $3,100, that wouldn't be that bad. But just another option for you. And then the last name generator that I have used is called Anadia. It's a name generator tool that basically does the same stuff as a lot of the other ones, but it basically starts with a keyword. So like, let's say I say like family. What happens when I do family? Family winning, able family, new look family, cute family. A lot of these aren't going to have checking that the domains are registered, but it just kind of helps you brainstorm some ideas. And you can always check on namecheap.com if you want to figure out if it is available. So I think probably the best is the NameSnack one, for the fact that it actually has the ability to check if the .com is available. So I think we'll play on there and see what we can find out. All right, so after doing a little bit more searching, I ended up coming across Hugs of Heaven, which I like because it has alliteration. It's easy to say. It's not a lot of like fancy words where it's tricky spellings. Hugs of Heaven is very simple. I think if you can kind of try to keep your name at like a 5th grade reading level, it actually helps a lot for our purposes. And so I went into Namecheap. Hugs of Heaven is available. It's $8.98 a year, so I will register it. The one thing I will suggest though before you do, take that name, so ours is Hugs of Heaven, and go to www.uspto.gov. This is the trademark search. And if you go up to this trademark electronic search systems, basic word mark search, what we want to make sure is that it's not trademarked. And it says no test records were found. So nobody has a trademark for Hugs of Heaven. I've had a situation before where I've registered like some brilliant domain names that I thought were brilliant, and it turns out it's because it includes trademarked words in it. So I really couldn't, even though I could own it, I could never really run a business without probably getting a cease and desist letter. So always check first. So once you find a name, first check that it's available. I recommend using Namecheap. Number 2, Namecheap. Number 2, go to the trademark search. You don't have to go anywhere fancy. Just go to the trademark the trademark search from the government. It's probably the most comprehensive database. Once you have those things checked out, we're ready to start and get your shop set up. Let's go. All right, so the first thing you want to do is you want to head over to workhustlefreedom.com/Shopify. That'll get you access to a 14-day free trial to Shopify. Go ahead and enter your email address here. And then you just have to answer a few questions about your business. You can skip if you want, but I'm just going to answer a few of them. I'm just starting. I'm going to do an online store. I'm not going to sell. I'm not sure about drop shipping. And then you can just skip your store name. You don't have to name it right now. I'm in the United States, so select your location. And I'm going to create one with email, and then I will enter my password. Create Shopify account. Now it says it's building my store. Exciting. All right, so now that we've completed our sign up, we want to go overhead and first go to our online store, and we can look at themes. Now, by default the new generation Shopify theme is called Dawn. And in the past, we had to really spend a lot of money for expensive themes that added a lot of functionality. Now, the whole marketplace has really matured so much that Dawn is by far one of the most superior themes I've seen. And one of the reasons why I really suggest that our students, anybody who asks me on the channel, go to the Dawn theme is because it has large images, which for jewelry and gift items, it looks fantastic on mobile. It's fast. And if there's any updates coming, Shopify handles those updates on this theme first because it is their own theme. And so you don't have to worry about having issues with a third-party theme. If a Shopify update happens and they're not really quick to respond to updating their code accordingly, sometimes that can take your site down. I've had clients where their entire websites were down during the high demand times. And to get that switched over to a new theme, especially if they have a lot of custom coding in, can be a big pain in the butt. So I strongly suggest going with a free theme. If you do a free theme, I'd say go with Dawn 100%. Now that being said, you could go down here and there's a lot of popular other free themes that you could use. So feel free to check them out if you want. All right, and after you do that, the next thing you want to do is you want to go over to workhustlefreedom.com/ShineOn. And that will let you install the ShineOn app, which is, if you don't know who they are, they're kind of who we use like predominantly. We also sell things like mugs and shirts, and we'll get to that shortly. But by far the biggest opportunity I see for Q4 this year, and probably even beyond for the next couple of years, is print-on-demand jewelry. ShineOn does that. They ship fast from Florida. They're high quality, high margin. Customers love them. I've shown in past videos where my return rate is like 0.9%. So it's insanely popular with customers, and it's a really great market to be in right now. So we're going to go ahead and do start selling today. So I'm going to register for a quick account, agree to the terms of service, and log in. And now you can see here the brilliance of ShineOn. If you only wanted to sell on Etsy, they do have their own Etsy integration. In that case, you don't even have to have a Shopify store. You can connect directly with their platform right into your Etsy store. For the purposes of this tutorial, we're going to focus on Shopify, but I want to let you know that that is out there. But even if you are selling on Etsy, I strongly suggest that you do create your own store, just because you have your own brand presence, you're building your own asset. You know, who knows, farther down the road, if Etsy decides they don't like you, they could kick you off the platform.
So you get nothing. You lose.
If you have nothing, it's probably in your best interest to create your own asset, your own digital asset that potentially you could sell to somebody if you start to build that up. So not only are you doing the cash flow game, but you're also creating a digital asset that has value. So I think that's something to kind of focus on. The only real thing that you have to worry about is getting traffic to your store. But if you're listening to our channel, we can definitely help you with that as well. So I'm going to connect the store. And I don't think I have my jewelry store name yet. So let's go see. Here it is. It's right here. So it says to use your My Shopify domain, which is not your actual domain, the domain we bought, it's just this one here. So I'm gonna grab that, copy paste it there and hit connect now. And then you can see it's asking me to give ShineOn access to the customer data and such. And of course, they're gonna have to have that in order to ship your orders. And then it says step 1 is publish your first product. I'm gonna skip and go to the dashboard. You can see they have all these really high quality jewelry items, and what you can do is use this to then create your own message card design. So really, in these products, the jewelry item is kind of secondary. What really tugs at people's heartstrings and gets them to buy are these cards, these message cards that go with the jewelry, and that's what we'll be focusing on. Like I said, it's a huge market, and within like less than the last year, I've done over $1 million in sales with this. And so I think it probably has the best potential for you right now as well. So I'm gonna leave that open just for the time being. I'm gonna go over here and look at some other apps that we can get. So I'm gonna look for more and go to the Shopify App Store. And I'm gonna search the apps. And if you're gonna, like I said, predominantly we do jewelry, but we also do other items like shirts and mugs. One of my favorites to use is called Printify. So all you have to do is add them here. I'm not going to do that right now, but I want to let you know that they're there. Another good provider is T-Launch. We've probably done over $1 million with T-Launch as well. The one thing I will say, Printify does have better pricing if you go for the premium route. And what that is you have to pay for a membership. It's a monthly fee. It's like $30 or something like that. If you go to workhustlefreedom.com/Printify, you can actually check them out. That's a good way to actually get the app installed as well. We will get a small commission if you decide to go that route, but feel free to go directly to them like I just showed you as well. And one of the things I will say is that obviously they're with the premium, the pricing's a little better. The other thing I liked about Printify is that they're an aggregator. So they work with several printers, many printers actually all over the world. And so what you're actually able to do is if your standard manufacturer doesn't have a particular shirt in like one size, so let's say they're all out of blue 3XL, you can have it set up so it automatically goes to your backup supplier, which is really great. Whereas with T-Launch, what we've had to do in the past is basically had to ask a customer if they want a different color or maybe like a slightly different size, and that can kind of create a lot of back and forth, and that's kind of needless. And that's kind of one of the things I liked about Printify more. But the thing I liked about T-Launch more is that they are much more user-friendly on the app side for creating a listing for shirts that has more than one style. So you could have a t-shirt, a hoodie, a Razorback tank, all in one. Whereas with Printify, it's a little bit cumbersome to get that done, but it's still doable. So it's just kind of my 2 cents on those, but those are predominantly the people that we use for our print-on-demand products outside of jewelry items. Okay, so then another app we like to use is called Looks Reviews. You can go ahead and install this as well. What this does is you can set up auto responses that after someone buys, after so many days, this will request a review from them. It's really great for getting feedback, getting that social proof. So when people come to your store, it's kind of like Amazon. They'll see the gold stars, they'll see the reviews. It's kind of, gives them the ability to say, okay, somebody else bought this and had a good experience, and increases their potential to buy. They're a great company. They also have a referral program where you can send it to a customer that says, okay, hey, if you like this product, I want to share it with a friend, you can get a discount. and then give them a discount as well just for sharing. So say 15% off if they share it with somebody. You can do that as well. It's a great way to get that word of mouth advertising. It kind of reminds me of Ron Popeil when he had the electric food dehydrator, and he always talked about, so you can get some word of mouth advertising. If you could just tell a friend about it.
And like we did before, if you promise to tell a friend about it, so my company can get some word of mouth advertising.
That's kind of what this does, but it's electronic and it's actually really successful. We've had a lot of success with it, so it's something to definitely check out. All right, so what you're going to want to do is head over to workhustlefreedom.com/Klaviyo, and then click over here to sign up for an account. It's going to ask you for email, password, company name. You can just use your .com name. Website, use what your new website's going to be. Not your My Shopify name, but the actual URL. Enter your phone number and then sign up. So the good thing about Klaviyo is if you head over to pricing, you can see that it's free. $0 a month, up to 500 monthly sends, 150 email, SMS credits, and email support. You get all that for free. And then you can see as you build your list and grow your customer base, you can get up to 1,000 to 1,500 for $45 a month, 15,000 email sends monthly. And so I recommend, of course, starting with free, and as you build, you can start to increase it accordingly. And by that time, your list should be making basically like ATM profits for you. So $45 a month would be very cheap to get that return. All right, so go back to the sign up page. I'm going to do Matt at workhustlefreedom.com. Password, I'm just going to make something up. Company name is going to be Hugs of Heaven. Website's going to be https hugsofheaven.com. Enter my phone number. I do not want a live consultation, but I'm not a robot. Create account. All right, then it's asking us to select our platform. We're on Shopify. The store URL is this goofy monkey right here. Is that what it was? Just numbers? Yeah, just my numbers. You can do it later as well. But we're connecting the domain right now to our Klaviyo account. It'll bring you back into your account and ask you to install the Klaviyo app for email marketing and SMS. Yes, we do like more money. Thank you very much. And it does its thing. Round and round and round it goes. Now it's our store is being finalized. And now it's just asking for our sender email address. I'll just put my email address in there for now, but eventually you probably want to use like your support at your domain. Actually, I might do that. Support at hugsheaven.com, or contact, whatever you want it to be. Promo. What's my business goal? I'm just exploring, earn more revenue. It's going to ask us to check our email, and then basically you are set up once you confirm your email. You already have the app set up here. Oh, I might have to refresh it, but the app will be, oh, there it is, Klaviyo. So you have the app. Once you have this installed, then you're ready to start mapping out your email responses. You can do like abandoned carts with SMS or with email, all in Klaviyo. You can automate it. It's really awesome. They have templates built in there for you. If you go to flows, you'll be able to see their abandoned cart emails. And that's kind of a bit too much to like bite off in this particular video, but we will do a follow-up video about that for you. All right, so that's basically it for apps. The other apps that are a bit beyond the scope of this is if you go to go again to apps, there's one other one that of course I like, and that's the Facebook channel. It's free to install. You can add the app, and what it allows you to do is set up your pixel on Facebook. You can also connect your store, so you could sell things from your Shopify store directly on Facebook without people having to come to your store. They can buy right on Facebook. That's called the Facebook shop. You can do that, but the most important feature of this is that it allows you to connect your Facebook pixel to your store. And what that allows you to do is to track people who purchase, add to cart, view content, and basically visit your store. And so you have that data in Facebook, which is imperative to have when you're running ads. And there's other options out there for installing your Facebook pixel. We've used them in the past, but unfortunately we've had some data loss with those, especially after the iOS 14 update. So we've kind of gone almost exclusively to the Facebook channel currently. I suggest it. We'll probably have a separate video on just how to set this up because it is a bit intricate, but this is one that you definitely want to get if you're planning on running Facebook traffic. So now what we're going to do is create a logo. Now, quick and dirty is the way to go with this. It doesn't have to be super complicated. I would say that if you have a Canva account, that's a great way to actually create a logo seamlessly. We're going to use Canva. If you don't have an account currently, if you go to workhustlefreedom.com/Canva, you can get access to Canva. And they do have, of course, their pro account, which I strongly recommend, but it's not required for the purposes of this. So what's really cool about Canva, if you go over to templates, you can actually click on logo and get a lot of templates that you can use to actually create your logo. So for example, our logo, or our company is called Hugs of Heaven for the purposes of this demonstration. We can try to find something here. I can even do like logo jewelry. Give you some examples. Let's see, this isn't bad. So customize this template and let's just say Hugs of Heaven. We'll just say unique jewelry and gifts. And we'll just spread this out a little bit. Perfect. There we go. And if you wanted to, you can change the color of this. So it could be like white. I kind of like the way it was. The other thing that's kind of cool that you can do is you can take away this color. So you could just delete it and then it's a clear background. If you do that, you probably want to make this a dark color. Something like that. But we'll just go back to where it was. And we'll go ahead and download this. And if you wanted to do it with a clear background, the important thing here is to click the transparent button. That's only available if you have the Pro account, which is why it has a star here. But for our purposes, we'll just leave it like it is. All right, so now what you want to do is design your homepage. And so if you go to your online store here, actually I'm right here. Go to your theme, so I'm on my theme. Go to Dawn to customize it. This is where you would customize your theme. You can also get a look at what your store looks like currently. So you can see it has welcome to our store. It has an announcement bar at the top. Good if you have a certain sale, like for events, Father's Day, Mother's Day, Christmas, Halloween. You can basically edit it right here. Then there's the header section, which has your menus, which we'll go over a little bit later. This is how people can navigate your store. You have your image banner, which is basically a banner that you can feature products. We like to use it a lot for sales too. So, you know, right now you could have like a back to school image and maybe feature some of your collections that are trending currently. This is just the text for that, the button to shop all. Of course, you have the rich text. You can talk about your brand. The other thing that you can do, it is really important, is hide these if you don't need them. So rich text, if you click on this little eyeglass here, or this little eye, you can see how it vanished, disappears. So if you want it to still be there as an option, but not forever, or but not showing, you can go ahead and just hide it doing that. Featured collection can be really beneficial, as again, I talked about trends. So if you're on trend, Halloween's coming, or back to school, you can feature some of your most best performing products here. And then some of the stuff like the collage, like I won't use, and video I won't use, so I'm gonna hide it. You got this multiple column. You know, I keep my homepage really simple. And then of course you have the footer. Some of the stuff in the footer is very important. So your privacy policy, your terms of service, your return policy, those things need to be down here. And so we will go over that. It's just to be compliant with a lot of the ad platforms, especially Google ads. They do check to make sure that you have that information here. So we'll get that set up for you really quick in Shopify. But more importantly than anything, I keep this super simple. I want to feature maybe something that's on trend and make it look like it's a legitimate business, because you are, of course, you're not going to scam people. But I don't really put a lot of time into it because of the fact that most of my traffic comes from paid ads. And so it's going to a certain product page, not to this page. So I don't like a huge gap like this. One other thing I was going to point out is at the top here, you can actually change it to view it as a mobile. So you can see how it will look like on the mobile phone. And since probably 90% of your traffic will be on mobile, it's very important that you do at least glance at this to make sure that it looks okay. I know a lot of people design on desktop, but since so much traffic comes from mobile, it's important to make sure everything's functioning correctly in that format as well. So we'll go back here. I'm going to create an image. I'm going to go over to Canva. My slider image I can show you here is 1800 by 800 pixels. So I just created a new one, and I'm going to search for elements. And because right now we're in August, back to school is kind of big, I'm going to look for back to school. And you can see there's some little things, doesn't really, maybe like design elements. I don't really want that. I'm looking for more along the lines of like something like this. So this is a pro image. We do have a pro account. I strongly recommend it. And let's just see how this looks. This could be fine for a certain event like back to school. You could do something different for Halloween. I kind of like this. I'll go with this for now. If it's not a trending topic, like if there's not a holiday coming up, you could do something more like jewelry based. But to be honest with you, there's always holidays in like the jewelry space and the gift giving space. You could feature birthdays. You could do Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Valentine's Day, New Year's. You could do Mother's Day, Father's Day. Weddings are big in the spring and summer. So there's really like events all year round if you look for them and really start to think about it in that perspective. So I kind of try to tie it to a trending topic because that shows that we're an active store. We're tapped into what's going on right now, and we're responding to what our customers want. And I think that's like really important. Nothing worse than going to a website and being like, has anybody even touched this for like 5 years? You want to basically show that you're a thriving brand that has your finger on the pulse. So I got this. I'm going to download it. And then all you do is you go over to your store, go to your image. I'm going to select the image. So right now it's just the standard one. I am going to select an image, upload an image. There you go. We have it. Oh, what happened? I didn't save it. Select. There we go. So that looks pretty good. You can say like back to school. Oop. Back to school sale. Something like that. I'm gonna do it large. Save. All right, so we have that. The other thing you can do is change your opacity. So if it's really bright, or if you have it kind of faded, a little bit darker, it kind of basically makes your text stand out. I do like to change this to medium, just because if it's large, it's too much scrolling to get to your products. So medium, or if you can do small, small is not even that bad either, but I think we'll just keep it medium. Everything else looks pretty good. And then we'll just maybe do like save, on unique back to school gifts. All right, so now we have that. I'm gonna go up to the top. We have my store. There's no logo. I am going to change it. Try this one. I actually do like this one a lot. I might make, I'm gonna make this Hugs of Heaven, unique during gifts, boom, 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 boom. I will download it, and I'm going to make it transparent. All right, so just looking at this, I'm not really happy with the way it's looking. I'm gonna make a couple changes here. I think I'm gonna remove the tagline just because it's not really required. And then I'm going to resize this. You can go right up into Canva here, do resize, let's say 250, and then just hit resize. And now we can grab these two elements together and drag them to fit the entire image that we have. I think that looks good, and I can make sure it's centered by selecting them both and then having that cross in the middle. Perfect. I am going to save it, make sure that the transparent background is checked, and I'll go back to here, upload it. You can see I've uploaded it a couple times. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, I think it looks much better. Select. And then you can see it on mobile. Mobile looks great. So we'll go with that. So the one thing I did want to mention again is just kind of to touch on this announcement bar. You can do, like I said, tied to events that are very buzzworthy, like Christmas or Halloween or something like that, or back to school. You can even tie it to seasons. So if there's not an event, but a season changes. So you can say like fall sale, save 50, or save 10% using code fall 10 at checkout. So that's something you could do. It's a great way to kind of incentivize purchasing, and it gives them a little bit of an extra bonus for the people that come directly to your homepage. Because as you do develop your store, as you start to push more social traffic with paid ads, and as people start to share it, you're going to have a lot more organic traffic that comes in, and eventually SEO is going to kick in. You're going to have a lot of people finding your brand. So that's a great way to kind of capture those people. And of course, the other thing you can do is type in something like free shipping. Now, the most people will tell you to put free shipping on all orders, something like that. But what I like to do, and what we kind of teach in our course is, or in our mastermind is, we pay shipping on all orders. So if you pay shipping for your customers, you don't charge them. A great way to kind of show that you still are paying it, there is still a charge there, is to kind of show it as a gift and like position it as a gift. We pay the shipping. We're going to take care of it for you. It kind of is a better value offer than saying free shipping, because that implies that there's no cost at all. This kind of shows that you're doing something for them for purchasing. So I think it's a better wording and something that we actually suggest using. And of course, if you don't want to use the announcement bar at all, you can go ahead and click on this little eye right here and it'll just take it away from your store. So you don't have to use it, or maybe you only want to use it during certain holidays. That's a great way to just not have it show up. And just one thing that I didn't mention, just scrolling back down, we have our back to school sale. We have an image that's kind of related to something that's trending right now. You can also, you want to make sure that you make this button go to somewhere. So right now, if we go back, it is going to all products. You could have it go to a certain collection, a certain product. One thing people do a lot, what we kind of suggest to do, is if you have like a hot products collection, you can put it there and it'll basically be all your products, all your best sellers. You can go ahead and use collections and then select best sellers, but for right now, we're just going to do all collections. So now, of course, if you do click this shop button, it's going to take you to collections all. There's no collections currently here, so we're going to go ahead and want to create some of those. And if you go up to your product section under collections, you can see all we have is the home page. So some examples of some collections you could use could be like love, product tag would say contains love. So it's going to automatically, if the product tag contains love, you add the tag to that product, they know it's in the love niche. So that could be like to soulmate, wife, husband, those types of things. You could even go even narrower. So it kind of depends on what you're going to sell, but let's say you have like wife products. Oh, here we go. Let's do like gifts for wife. It's going to include wife in the tags. Gifts for husband. And tag. And by adding this tag filter here, it automatically will include anything that you tag with the husband tag in the product to this collection. So you don't have to constantly go in there and add new ones. Let's do a couple more. Let's do like gift for son, and then we'll include son, and then we'll say one more collection, gift for daughter, and if the tag includes daughter. Bada book, bada boom. You can even add images to these if you want, but we're not gonna do that right now. Let's go back to our store and customize. And then we'll go to our shop all. And you can see now we have all these here. You can also put like shop by, you know, recipient if you wanted to like go the gift angle. Shop by recipients, something like that. We'll just leave it as it is for now. And so now you can, what I was saying before is if you want to actually go back to collections, so products, collections, you can add an image here and then the image will show up. So for example, let's say I wanted to go back to our good friend Canva, and I'm going to create a new design, and it's going to be a custom size by 124 and 124, so 1024. And so let's say I want to add something for daughter. So what you can do is go into here and type in collections images, and I'm going to duplicate it so we can call this one daughter, gifts for daughter, which if you name the image the same as the category, it can actually help you with SEO because it tells Google and the search engines that this image is related to gifts for daughter. So now let's just say like elements, daughter. And we'll want to go to photos. So here you can see like a mom and her daughter. So if you drag it, if you drag it in, you have to resize it to fit. But if you slowly drag it in, it'll automatically fit. So that's definitely a cool trick that I like to use. And then just make sure that you only select the current page or a current page here. It's downloading. Let's go back to our collection, add the image. And I'm going to call this before I upload it, gifts for daughter. And upload it. There we go. Now if we save it, now if we view the collection, you can see gift for daughter. It has a picture of a daughter. So you could do one for son, husband. You can even like put some of the images of the jewelry items if you're selling jewelry there. But if just because you might be selling other items besides jewelry, I kind of like to just show who it's for, who the recipient is in these images. So it's a great way to have a collections page for your search engine optimization. So now that we have these collections set up, what we can do is go back to our home page. Just go to customize. And now I don't want to talk about my brand. I'm going to remove this rich text. Featured products. It's going to be a featured collection. So we can basically go in here and see right now it's showing collection all. Let's change it. Change collection. Let's do daughter. And so now it's going to show daughter products there. This would be a great addition if there was a trending topic. So let's say like back to school, you had a bunch of new daughter items. You can feature some gifts for daughter here. Or let's say you had a really hot gift that was going really well for weddings or anniversaries. You can feature gifts for the wife here, or love niche, so someone buying for soulmate. Valentine's Day, you can feature one. You can actually create a collection just for Valentine's Day and feature it here for that type of thing. And so the other product that I like to use, or actually the section I like to use, is called this collage here. And you can see as a default, it has set up a collection, a product, and a collection. But you can actually go down to this product section here. And if you go to the block, you can remove block or hit delete here. So let's remove the block. And then you can add another block and pick a collection. So now we have 3 collections. So you may have like your featured products here. So this could be like your most popular products currently based on the trend. But let's just say down here, we also wanted to feature some gifts for son. Here we're going to feature, let's say like gifts for husband. And here we'll feature gifts for wife. and we'll save it. If you go here, if you just scroll up, you can go to view. There, you can see this one, the image shows. If you add the image, it'll show for this one as well, and for this one, and they are clickable. So you can see there's a little bit of movement on the image when you hover, and then also the link with the arrow can be clicked to visit that collection. Nothing here right now. Like I said, if you add the images here, you can actually have them show up as well. So just to do that as a reminder, you go back to, let's go back to our template here, collections images. Okay, so we have gift for daughter. Let's say we want a gift for son, gift for son, or gifts, and we'll do gifts for husband, gifts for wife. Set those all up like that. Bada book, bada boom, and then we'll go son. Some people like to put faces showing. It gives it a more of a personal touch. So we'll put this as for gift for son. So I say gift for husband. This looks like she's giving him the gift, and then gift for wife. And there you go. We can do this. And so what you can do is download these. Here it is. You can see they're all named correctly. Gift for daughter, gift for husband, gift for son. So now we go back over here, go to under products, under collections, and then we're just going to click into each of these and make sure that we add an image to each collection. Son, gifts for son, save, gift for husband, open and save. All right, and then gifts for wife. There you go. Very good. So now if you go back to the store where we were at, hit refresh, and now you can see all the images show. We should title this something different. So we can call this like new arrivals. And if you actually go back to your collections here, so let's say like for gift for daughter, you can see I am using the tags in order to trigger. So when I create a product, if I want it to be in the daughter niche, like if it's a daughter product, someone giving it to their daughter, I will add the daughter to the tag section. It'll automatically add it to this collection. And you can see by default, it's going to sort them by best selling. There's other options as well. You can do alphabetically, highest price, lowest price, newest, oldest, and then manually select. I just like to go best selling. Okay, and so for the next step, you want to make sure that we have our policies in the bottom. We're going to create some products that will pull into here shortly, but the first thing you want to do is make sure we have our policies in place. So thankfully, Shopify makes it very easy. Go down to settings and go down to your policy section here. You can generate these. So you can just hit create from template. So right here it says, basically you want to fill in and make it your own and personalize it. So, and then make sure that you read it just to make sure that it's how you want to conduct your business. For example, if you want to handle exchanges a certain way, you can edit here for the refund policy. I actually would put my support email address here. So it would probably be like support at our store name. And then also the contact would be there. You can put your business address here where it says insert address. And then everything else is kind of just customizable. Same for the privacy policy. You just want to, most of this is general, but as far as like anything, this privacy describes how the name. So we want to make sure you have your brand name here, not this My Shopify site. And then also just make sure any of these bracketed items that you update them accordingly for your brand. But it's a really good outline actually. All right, and then the same thing for terms of service. You want to make sure that your website's listed in here when we do create the custom domain, and your contact information, and then shipping policy. We don't have to worry about that right now, or contact. Well, contact we will do. So we're not going to have a trade and VAT, but we'll do the other stuff here. So you put your name, the phone number if you have one. You don't really necessarily need one, but it's nice to have one sometimes. But one thing that you definitely do want is a physical address and an email address that people can contact you at. Then we'll save them. So now what we want to do is go back out of there. We'll go to navigation and our footer menu. You can see back here, I'm going to do the right click, open in a new tab. That way I can go back and forth and show you how it changes. So we're going to go to customize. And you can see if we scroll down right now, we have search. It's the only thing we have. So what I like to make sure to do is go to menus and delete the search. And now we're going to add a menu item. And we're going to call this policies. And we'll do contact information. We'll call it like contact us. You'd always rather have a customer contact you than do a dispute or a chargeback. And then we're going to do terms of service. And we're going to do our refund policy. And we're also going to add our privacy policy. And these were all created for us. If you update them back when we created them, they'll be updated here as well. I do want to put the refund policy up closer to the contact us policy, just in case someone does see the contact us. Hopefully they'll read the refund policy first, just to make sure that they're in the terms of that. We hit save menu. And now if we go back to here and hit refresh, you can see that we now have this contained here. And if you go to view it, they're actually clickable. So people can click on them. So contact us, they'll bring you here. Refund policy is here. Very important to have that, especially if you're running anything with like Google. So Google display ads, Google shopping. If you don't have that, they will strike your account. So you won't be able to run ads then. So then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change this to, change the menu to info, save it. And then this one, it's actually doing the footer menu currently. We'll leave that there as it is, our mission. We could just say something like, help our customers celebrate the blessings of life with unique jewelry and gifts. Something like that, just to kind of express what you're all about. So in my personal preferences, I like to break this out. So maybe have something about the company here, have like the more legal info here, and then have our mission. So I'm going to make some slight adjustments. I'm going to go over here and go to online store, navigation. And what I want to actually do is create a new page and call it about us. And all you really want to do here is just write a little bit about your brand, when you started it, just kind of peel back the curtain a little bit, and just kind of always, it really helps if you present yourself as a small family business, because chances are high that you are, and people really do like to hear about your story. So share a little bit about that. You don't have to get really personal, but as much as you can share and feel comfortable with it really does help to build that like relationship with your customers, so they know it's not just some big scam company somewhere. And then the other thing I like to do, we have a contact page already. And then the one other page I like to add is an FAQ, because as you continue to have feedback from your customers, you're going to have similar questions come up often. It's a great place to kind of point them to. Also a great place if you're customer service people, when you get to that point where you're going to hire some people, they can reference it as well and provide it to your customers as a resource to answer a lot of the basic questions that people actually come up with quite often. Not to say that they come up with a lot of questions, but the same kind of questions come up repeatedly when the questions do come up. And I'm actually going to go to navigation, and I'm going to create a menu, and I'm going to call this one company, and then I'm going to add some stuff to it. I'm going to add the about us page. If you go here, page, go to about us, and then oops, I want to add a menu, contact us, add, and then one more menu, or one more item is the FAQ, and then save that. You can go back over here. Now I'm going to refresh it again. That last time was kind of unneeded. So let's see, go down here, This is the one I want to replace. So I'm going to change this, I'm going to change this menu to be company. Selected. And then I'll just put this, I'll actually call this company to match the category. So now it looks a little bit more clean. We go up here and refresh our preview. You go down here, you can see with the company, about us, contact us, our FAQ. You can also, once you start to get reviews, put your happy customers or customer feedback link down here to a page where you just feature your customer feedback. Get your contact us in case anybody wants to reach out, refund policy in case anybody has questions about it, terms of service, privacy policy, and then your mission. All right, so now we're actually almost done. There's a little section here that says, if you want to sell in more than one country, you can enable the country region selector at the bottom. There's also the language selector. For our purposes, we're going to be focused mostly on the US. We're not going to use them, but they are there if you need them. You can show your payments right here. So what payments you actually accept. And then the other thing you can do here is your social media icons to show or hide them. And it says to display your social media accounts, link them in your theme settings. You go to your theme settings and go to social media. Here's where you can enter in all of your social media. So let's just say we did this really quick. So like Facebook, Twitter, TikTok or something. And then we'll save it. And you can see they're displaying down here. You can also add them in your company section. If you wanted to add a link to your YouTube or Facebook account, you can do that as well. All right, so now the only thing we have to take care of now is adding some products, which we'll get to shortly. But then before that, we want to take care of this menu section up here. This is our main navigation. You really want to feature like your best products and your best ability for your customers to get around and find your best sellers. And so what I'm going to do is go over here. I'm going to go to the menu section. This is the main menu. You can see we have catalog, we have home, catalog, contact us, which is, corresponds here. But actually, if you hit the logo, it does go home as well. So I'm going to take out the catalog. I'm going to take out the home. I'm going to leave contact in there because it's another opportunity for customers to contact us. Like I said, if you make it easier for them to reach out to you and contact you, it's less likely to open a chargeback and affect your accounts negatively. You don't want that, especially if you're in like a really big sale type of a year. So we're just going to go add menu. We're going to go like shop by recipient, and then we can just do collections, and let's do all, add, save menu. Now let's go ahead and see how that looks. And you can see, and then we'll add another menu, and we'll call this like daughter, and we'll go to collections, gift for daughter, add it, and we're going to do son, and then we'll do, let's see, wife, and we'll do husband. And then what you can do is move these in so they are actual sub drop downs within this drop down category. So, I don't want it that far out. There we go. Let's move this up. Daughter, son, husband, wife. Perfect. And now if we save this, and then as you add more, like grandparents, you can continue to add to this list here. Just add menu item. If we go over here to our main one, now you can see if they shop, they can click shop by recipients, and then it has the drop down. So it'll take them to this collections page if they click on shop by recipient. Otherwise, they can actually select like daughter, and it'll take them to the daughter collection. The other things I like to keep up here, and I keep it very basic. You really don't want to have a lot of distractions if you can help it, because analysis paralysis is real, and if you give people a lot of buttons to click on and get lost in, you're going to lose sales. So if you keep it very clean, you're actually going to increase your conversion rate, which is what we want. But we do want to have a few things up here besides that. So let's go over here, And let's go, let's add a menu. Let's add an About Us page. I want pages, About Us. All right. And I'm gonna move the contact us down here. I think I will add a home, just to kind of fill it out a little bit. There we go. Let's go to view code, or sorry, view page. And there you go. We have shop our recipient. We have recipients they can select, about us, contact us. You can also put the FAQ if you wanted. The important thing I was going to point out is how it looks on mobile. So on mobile, it's a lot less distracting. You can tell that if they're on like a product page, you have to click on this little squiggly in order to bring up the menu. But it's very easy to use, and that's kind of, you know, just demonstrates why we talk about Dawn themes so highly, is because it does look very good on mobile. You can see here it's you know, very vibrant and really easy to use. So one thing we definitely want to take care of is this Favicon up on top. You can see right now it's just a globe. It's very generic. Doesn't seem like a very lived-in site. There's no congruency with the brand if you look at our logo. So what we want to do is make it congruent. And so just a little bit of tweaking can make it a big difference. And so what you want to do is go over to Canva again. And I actually just took a copy of this Wedding Decor Studio logo, and it's just a 500 by 500 image. I deleted everything off of it. And then I want to go back to our logo here and just grab this diamond. We could use that definitely for our Favicon. So I just highlighted it, Control C, Control V to paste. There it is. Let's make it to size. Again, we'll center it. I like it just the way it is. So now we're gonna go take a look. It matches our logo. Let's share this. We're gonna keep it a transparent background, so just this piece, just this front color part shows, and download it. And then we go over here, and if you weren't already in your settings, so if you can see your theme settings down here, if you click there, it'll automatically take you to your theme settings. You can go to Favicon, select Favicon, and then download it right here. And we'll call this Hugs of Heaven Favicon Final. And then we'll select it. We already tested one before just to make sure it would work fine. It does. And now if we save this, come back to our home page and hit refresh, you can see we now have congruency. It matches our logo, and so it looks like a lived-in brand. So the other thing I like to do is only a couple more steps here. We're going to go down here, theme settings, checkout, and you can add your logo. So we will add our logo, this one here. Perfect. And then that'll show up on the checkout page. Basically it gives people more good vibes knowing that they're not going to some other page to check out, but it's within one brand. So you definitely want to keep that on there just so it helps to reduce page abandonment once they get to the checkout page. So now before we end up going on adding some products, we want to go over here, go to preferences, and we know what our store will be called. It's going to be called Hugs of Heaven. So we're gonna add that there. And then just a description about it would be like unique gifts for every occasion. Can't spell. Still can't spell. Unique, we'll call it jewelry. And gifts for every occasion. Every, you know, kind of the SEO in me comes out, and I want to put some keywords in there. And then you can see here it automatically included our logo as a social media sharing image. So if anybody ever does share a link to your page, it'll show this, which is perfectly fine with me. It's our logo, and so it's got some brandability there. All right, next step is to show how easy it is to add a design, a product. So we're going to go back over to ShineOn. We are going to select the product. Let's use this message card here. It's called Alluring Beauty, just to give you a little bit of background on them Let's see if I can go back here. It won't let me. Okay, so we'll go to Learning Beauty. You can see it starts at $14.40. The MSRP is $59, so you basically can make, you know, $45 around there in gross profit, which gives you a lot more room than t-shirts, mugs, and, you know, things like that. So I selected it, and I have a design on my desktop that we're going to use. You can see it says, "To my daughter, life is filled with hard times and good times. Learn from everything you can. Dance in the rain, enjoy the ride, and never forget your way back home. I will always be there to love and support you. I love you to the moon and back. Love your mom." Oh. So then go over here. You can see it automatically creates all the images that we need. It's got both white gold and yellow gold now. This is 18K yellow gold. It does include some images here, but it doesn't always render them. And then you can see the various base costs and then the price that they recommend. They include that here. So you have $14.40 for base, $59, and then it just kind of goes up. So you have the 14 white gold, which is this here. And then you have the 18 yellow, which is $69. $19 cost, and that's in a standard box. Then of course you have this mahogany box that has an LED light. Don't know if you can see it here, but it's actually really good quality, and those cost a little bit more. So these are the same two variations, the white gold and the yellow gold, but then they have that luxury box. It costs more, but you can charge more too. All right, so now we are going to, we have to put a title. Let's do daughter gift. And we'll put in there, I had to put something about the quote just to remind me if I ever have to go back and try to find it again. Maybe like "love you to the moon and back." And actually, I'm going to take that out, put the quote there, and then for SEO purposes, include necklace. You can see you actually change the language too, but we're not going to take care of that. We're going to do just your standard English language, since we will be selling primarily to the US or at least English speaking markets, so US, Canada. It says okay, there's adding something right now, some updates. They always have, you know, amazing updates. So you can view it on our store. Here's how it looks. You can see the images are nice and big. If you click on it, it gets bigger. Then you can see the images that they included here. It didn't render this one. You can add it if you want. I'm not going to worry about that right now. And you can see if you select 18 karat, it goes there. And then you got the luxury box as well. Looks great. So now if we go back over to our store, let's go to products. We have this one here. I'm going to take this guy out since it didn't render, and everything else is pretty much okay. I'm going to save it, and then we know that it's right now only on the homepage collection, but if I put a tag in here that says daughter, since that's how I set up our collections. Now if I do this, save it, it's going to show up under daughter as a collection. So if we go back here, shop by recipient, daughter, there you see it. And if we go home, featured products is the daughter product, and it's actually set up right now that if someone scrolls on it, it changes to the next image. So that's why you see it changing. It's kind of cool because you can see that they have it. If someone only likes yellow gold, it shows that it's, you know, there in gold, yellow gold as well. So yeah, that's basically it. Rinse, repeat for as far as the product goes. All right, so the next thing you want to do is go back to online store, preferences, going down here. You can see that currently it's restricted access, which means only we can see the store. If anybody types in the logo or types in the URL, they can't see it. And so in order to do that, we have to pick our Shopify plan. Keep in mind we are on a 14-day trial. You are as well if you used our link. And so you can just kind of see what you need here. Obviously yearly is a lot cheaper. I do typically monthly just because it's a bit more manageable. And the one thing to consider that most of you will probably use the basic Shopify plan, but there are some differences between the three options. So the difference between them is there is a per transaction fee, and then there's also a percentage. And since they're not showing it here, I'm actually going to bring it over just to kind of describe the difference. So with the monthly basic is $29 a month. It's a 2.9% processing fee for using their shopping cart, and then 30% per transaction. So it's 30 cents plus 2.9% of whatever the amount of the order is. It's cheaper at the $79 level. It's only 2.6%. Same 30% or 30 cents transaction fee per order also applies, and then 2.4 for the advanced. I think for, like I said, for most of you, and it's this basic's going to be fine. And really, there's not that much difference unless you really start pushing volume. Then this probably makes sense. But I will say that with this, there is professional reporting, and this is really valuable once you get up and running. So I think more than just the savings in the transaction fees, what's really important is at the $79 value, you have access to this reporting that's in the back end over here in finance. And so I suggest going here once you start running some traffic. But for now, the $29 a month is fine. And you can see up on top here, it does say, if I just set this up today, so if I cancel by the 7th, I won't be charged anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the basic. I'm going to do my billing cycle as monthly, and then it's asking me for a billing address. All right, so I've taken care of that. Now we can go back to online store preferences, go back to the bottom, and you can see that now we're able to unrestrict it. And now it says our store is open for business. All right, so now we want to go over to settings, and we can update this. We know it's called Hugs of Heaven. And we can see that the legal name is probably, oops, don't know how that happened, Hugs of Heaven. Legal name of the company, we just call it the same thing. It's an LLC. Industry, which make sure your address is correct, because that's going to show up on your customer order confirmations. And then your phone number, the email that people see, that customers see from you, order confirmations, shipping notifications is all going to be right here. So like, for example, right now it has this. I actually would prefer it to be contact or not contact, but probably support at hugs of heaven.com, so that the support team can take care of it. And then we have everything else set up in our time zone. The currency is correct. The other thing I like to do is, if you have more than one store, it can get confusing if you have customers that may reach out and you've actually sold it on a different store, but they come to you and this support person gets a question about it. It doesn't happen so much because most of you only run one store. But the other thing is, I've had people see something on Facebook from somebody else and buy it, and then they see our ad and think, oh, that's them, they must have my money. And so a good way to get around that is to put a prefix on all of your order numbers. So in our case, we have Hugs of Heaven. I'm going to make it HH. So all of our orders are going to do HH 1001, 1002. I'll start with HH. So that way, if someone reaches out to you with an order number that doesn't start with an HH, chances are it came from somebody else. They bought something else on Facebook from a different store. You can just kind of apologize and say, that's not one of our order numbers. I'm sorry if you got taken, if you got taken advantage of. But just reach out if you have any other questions. And so that's kind of a little trick that I learned to kind of cut down on that and to basically prevent you from having to like search for this order number. Maybe they gave you the wrong order number, maybe they just got confused. And so it's really important that I think it's a good step to have. And so then we'll save it. So then after that, what you do want to do is head over to payments. This is how your customers can give you money. You want to always activate Shopify payments. It's really easy to do. Just click the button. You can see it's 2.9% and 30 cents per transaction. That's pretty standard. You can also set up alternative payment methods like PayPal and Amazon. I do suggest setting up PayPal. They can be a pain in the butt sometimes, but overall, your conversion rate will drop if you don't have PayPal as an option. And then you want to go ahead and set up your shipping. So we are going to set up a new rate. So I'm gonna go over here and go over here, hit manage rates. You can see that I do already have some rates in. I'm gonna keep it very simple because of the fact that with ShineOn as a provider, they actually do have a facility now in Amsterdam. So shipping into Europe and Asia and things like that is actually really easy. It doesn't cost us a lot. And so having that ability kind of inspires me to do free shipping for customers. And that's kind of been the standard, especially now that Amazon is pressing the prime and people, more and more people are using it. People aren't always used to paying for shipping. It does help increase your conversion rate. And so what we're gonna do here is just delete the shipping zone and delete this one as well and hit save. And then we're gonna create a new shipping zone. We're gonna call this worldwide shipping. And then do rest of the world, done. You can see that we've created a shipping zone but no rates. So now we're gonna add a rate. And for here, let's go free standard shipping. And the price is free. So now you can see rest of the world, they're gonna get free shipping. I do free standard because if you do wanna add something in there like a free premium shipping, maybe I think typically right now it costs about $5.50 to ship a ShineOn product. You could have free premium shipping at $5.50, or you could actually expedite it if you're going to self-fulfill some things. You can actually maybe even add a little bit more, especially as we get closer to the cutoffs for the holidays. Perhaps you buy in bulk and you're fulfilling them yourself, but that extends how long you can sell them, and then you can actually charge a little bit more because it's going to cost you more to express ship products. The good news is you're going to be able to ship products after other people can't, so you're probably going to be able to get some extra sales. It kind of depends on if the hassle is worth it to you, and if you really do have a winner, it might not be a bad idea. And we're going to go ahead and save this. And so if you did actually want to charge shipping to certain countries, like if there's something that's really expensive, like say Australia, you could create a shipping zone here, simply call it Australia, and then hit, call it Australia shipping. So I wouldn't be a good CPA if I didn't at least touch on taxes. Now, generally speaking, I can't give you like real advice to an audience this broad because some of you are like all over the world. But here in the States, the general rule is you have to establish nexus in a state in order to have to collect taxes for that state. So whatever business, whatever state your business is formed in, you probably will have to set up to collect taxes from your customers if you do make sales in that state. The other ones, typically you don't have to. There are certain thresholds that you have to make in order to have to collect them in other states, but it's best to get with your CPA that knows your business specifically in order to get those details. But really, it's not something you should worry about now when you're starting out, you don't have sales, because really if you have no profit, you're not paying any taxes, it's not something you have to worry about as much. Just be sure to collect in the state that you do have your business formed in, and all those other finer details you can kind of basically hand off to an accountant as you'll be able to afford it once your store blows up. So now we're here, the last step. The last step is, if you go down to domains, right now you have a really ugly domain that your Shopify store is at. It's mine's at d01e21.myshopify.com. But we have a domain that we purchased already. So you basically have two options. You can go to some place, like we did all that research on our brand. You can go to Namecheap or like GoDaddy and buy your domain there, or you can actually buy it right here. So if you want to buy one, you can buy it right through Shopify. It'll be integrated. There's no real like hassle with it. If you already have an existing domain, you just hit connect existing. It walks you through the steps. It's really not that hard because it has such great instructions. I'm not going to go over it here because it can depend on where you purchase your domain, but just keep in mind that once you complete this step, instead of having, like for example, instead of us having this really ugly domain, you'll be able to have our customers come to the store and type in, hugsofheaven.com. It'll automatically take them to our new store. All right, so that we've gone through all those steps. If you ever want to go take a look at your store, you come down here, take a peek at it, and here it is. Back to school. We don't need this. It's just telling us that we're in. And you can see now that we've added Shopify payments. It has all these payments that that we accept. So we have like the Meta card, or maybe Meta payments. We have Apple Pay, Venmo, Visa, Amex, and so it basically shows people that they can pay with any of those cards, because I do know it does help, because customers will ask, oh, I don't see this logo, can I use my card? And so it does help to have that there. So now it's just a question of coming up with the enough designs to fill this out. Looks like we got about 4 more, and then just build out the store. You don't really have to get real excessive with it. I would try to fill up so for daughter, I want to have enough to make this full, and then get at least 1 design in each of the categories. And basically you can start testing products if you're going to run paid ads.
All right, so if you've come this far, you're probably thinking, Matt, thank you so much for showing me how to make an awesome Shopify store. And you're welcome. But now you're probably also thinking, how do I fill the store up with amazing designs? And that's easy too. If you click this video right here, I'm going to show you how to create awesome 7-figure print-on-demand designs with a free tool. Check it out.